Welcome to the KICKFLIP Ochaco Deck Profile. This is for Air symbol Ochaco 4 and it's going to be quick, so strap on in. First off, all the attacks, they are highs, they are charges. Electric Moth draws us cards. Falling Skies is a pumper's dream. Vast Hybrid Chimera Kraken, it commits your cards. Velocity Rush is here because it's not only a charge and a high attack, but because the Echo keyword is the best keyword in the game. Floating Drop has blocks that we need and momentum outlets we need, while also being just really well statted for a 4-div. Airstream Driver is kind of a situational masterpiece for this deck. You typically have to play it on a 6 or higher, but Ochaco Readying Foundations helps us offset that. Sealing solves problems that Vast Hybrid can't by committing cards, and it can counter struggling with studies by discarding the block or referee, jury, or Genkai's guidance from the card pool, and it was another good block modifier in a zone that we needed. This deck really needed another useful way to spend momentum, and it's been such a good fit. Now, the elephant in the room, Lightning Rod. This card has garnered a lot of attention. Deflect is a new mechanic, 4 is the highest rating we've seen printed for it, and you get a momentum when you do so. It's really useful early game when we aren't able to chain block very well, and on offense, it gives us the ramp and extension the air symbol has really been lacking compared to Earth and Water's ability to generate face downs. One thing I really like about it in Ochaco 4 specifically is that these new face downs are unknown to the rival and can function almost like a trap card when you unflip it with the once per turn response. It will still remove at the end of the turn, so make sure you pick something proactive that you want to use immediately if you are going to unflip cards built with Lightning Rod, and not a defensive feature that you would be using for later. As for the actions and assets, Airy Smiles is a no-brainer, as is Cape of No Return. Your mileage may vary on how many of each copy you want. I've got the Kaminari Sharpshooting gear in the main board because free momentum is a wonderful thing, as is the ability to present the occasional mix-up in our mono high zone deck. Though I would almost never change the zone on it because of how Ochaco 4 works. However, the major inclusion for it in the main board is that air decks lack significant deadlock a lot of the time, and this card has it. For deeper deadlock games, we bring in the Dramatic Slash to go find multiple Kaminari Sharpshooting gears to close out games and to help our Dramatic Slashes count as high attacks for getting the benefits from Ochaco 4. Air Force Gloves is incredibly good in a nearly mono charge deck, and really we love the 6 check here. Grenadier Bracers goes absolutely crazy with quick response and Neji Chan out, but we have no foundations that destroy themselves or attacks that destroy foundations, so it's on the short list for being sideboarded, but quick response is such an auto build most of the time, and I lean a little heavy on these powerful synergies again for small and limber that it hasn't ended up a dead card very often. Notable one-ofs include Fruit Tart Gourmand, one of the only ways for the air symbol to get a little catch-up ramp going, but sometimes your rival can change the zone of your attack, preventing certain abilities working for us, so this card also has some offensive implications. The other is Fearless Frog. It's also a zone-changing card. This time it's once per turn, and a wonderful candidate for our character's once per turn unflip ability. Discarding one card is a very situational cost that I find isn't too hard to meet. Other than that, I think Air has some really, really cute unflip synergies, like Life of Danger being repeatedly used can make it seem like there never was a 2-check in our deck at all. Reaching Out is a classic Ochaco 4 maneuver for greatly reducing difficulty, and while they aren't quite as good as the other 2 symbols for that gimmick, Lightning Rod makes this deck feel like a bottle of lightning ready to be unleashed.